and withstand with policy and pressure. I do have one more story where the legal system itself is under the microscope. This time, the question is not about who is standing before the judge, but it's about the judge. And this is some craziness. So, a federal judge Chambers scandal raises accountability questions. So I'm going to talk about this federal judge misconduct story because this one has people looking at the justice system sideways. A judicial misconduct investigation found that an unnamed federal judge, and actually, no, it's not unnamed. My notes is not updated, y'all. I'm gonna go with my notes, but then we're gonna get the update from the video, okay? So, an unnamed federal judge in the 11th Circuit had an inappropriate relationship with a high-ranking law enforcement officer. The report found that the judge had sexual encounters in chambers during business hours within hearing distance of staff. It also found that the judge initially made false statements during the investigation and attended a partisan political event as well. And after all of that, the judge received a private reprimand. A private reprimand. That's the part that has people talking, because the average person that hears this says, wait a minute, if I did it at my job, would the discipline still be private? And that's a fair question. This is not just about somebody's personal life. It's about public trust, because they're in those positions, those public offices. You know, a judge is just not a regular employee. A judge makes decisions that can affect someone's freedom, finances, custody, reputation, family, and future. So when misconduct happens at that level, the public naturally wants to know whether accountability is real or protected. So being honest, people already feel like there are two different rule books in this country, one for everyday people and one for people who feel like they're two different, one for people with titles, robes, badges, money, or even power, you know. So when a story like this comes out, it's not just about damaging one person's reputation. It damages the trust within that system, right? So I'm going to pull up the video and we can listen in, because I think they do name her, if I'm not mistaken. So my notes may not be current. I'll be taking notes throughout the week and try to get some current notes before I bring y'all the weekly rain report. But in this case, it didn't happen. So, but we're going to see that. Hold on one second. Let's listen in on this video. Let's see. There we go. Let's listen in on these details for this case.
A federal judge and a high-ranking Atlanta police official are at the center of explosive allegations.
It involves sexual encounters inside the judge's chambers during work hours. Tonight, Channel 2 investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln breaks down the judicial order. And Ashley, federal judges discovered this activity went on for years.
Yeah, according to this 20-page order from the chief judge over the 11th district. Now, the report does not name the judge, but for the last 2 days, I've been speaking with sources and going through public records to identify the accused after federal employees complained about hearing intimate noises through the walls.
These are serious allegations.
They're allegations of sexual encounters during work hours that a federal judge admitted to, according to this newly released judicial order. The report details an investigation launched after a complaint was filed against a federal judge last September.
I don't think judges are perfect. They're human beings, too.
Former federal prosecutor Doug Gilfillan says federal laws allow judges' identities to remain undisclosed in reports like these to protect the integrity of investigations.
However, the law requires an order like this one to be made public if there's an imposition of discipline.
The report claims the judge had sex on at least 5 occasions over a 2-year period inside her chambers with a high-ranking police officer. Employees interviewed during the investigation described multiple incidents where they allegedly heard people having sex through the walls. One court clerk testified to hearing what was described as unsettling noises, kissing, and music coming from the judge's chambers.
Why should the everyday person care about these allegations?
The American legal system depends on honesty and truthfulness.
This investigative report did not identify the judge or the officer, but multiple sources confirmed to Channel 2 that federal judge Eleanor Ross and Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Kelly Collier were the two accused. In the complaint, the judge's employee said she attended a primary election victory party for a district attorney on May 21st, 2024. A source provided Channel 2 this photo showing Ross at that party. The order also says the judge presided over a hearing the following day. Channel 2 obtained federal court records showing Ross presided over a supervised release hearing on May 22nd, 2024. And regarding the officer, the chief judge wrote the officer has worked for the PD since 1998, later adding that the officer has held this role since 2025. Atlanta police records show Collier joined the department in 1998, and his LinkedIn profile reflected a promotion in 2025. That LinkedIn page has since been taken down. I reached out to Ross, but a representative responded with no comment. The chief judge has already issued Ross a private reprimand, and she agreed to write apology letters to her employees. She was also reprimanded for attending a political event, as federal judges are prohibited from participating in political activities. The chief judge said harsher discipline was not imposed because of the judge's exemplary service to the court, along with the fact the judge ended the relationship and accepted responsibility.
In some ways, this is a self-inflicted wound, and it just shows further distrust in the system by the public, and that's just not something that we need right now.
And Atlanta police provided a statement this afternoon saying it launched an investigation to determine if the person mentioned in the federal report is an Atlanta police officer. Now, we've attempted to reach out to Collier and have not heard back. Reporting live in the newsroom, Ashley Lincoln.
Okay, then. But see, she wasn't doing right. She attended a political event dinner, and she should not have done that. She should know better as a federal judge. You're not supposed to attend these political events. So, Miss Lady. Okay, y'all. See what else I got for that. So, who judges the judges? And when powerful people are disciplined privately, does that protect the situation, or does it make the public trust the institution even less? So that's the policy, that's the pressure, and that's the conversation. So now I'm going to move into my next segment called, before we do that, if you are catching this on the rewatch, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button and share it to somebody who might want to hear it.